Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be looking at another example of composing gestures. So this time we're going to look at sequence gesture, which actually sequences the gestures based upon your needs. So let's go ahead and take a look at the example what we're going to build. So if you look at this canvas that's running here, if I tap and hold, I can move this view around. So there's a long press that we are applying, and as soon as I let it go, the view sticks there. So if I just do the drag, it's not going to work because precondition that we have applied is basically you tap and hold, and when view is ready to be dragged, then it's going to have this effect of a bigger radius with the circle selected state, and then you drop it wherever you want to drop it. Okay, so that's the example that we're going to build. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to create some state variables. So state private var. We're going to create an offset of CD size to keep a track of our view's translation and its position. So that's what we're going to do. We'll create two variables for that, and we want to keep a track of our drag state. So let's say can drag, say boolean, which is initially going to be false. Okay. Now let's go ahead and build our view. So what we're going to do is we're going to create first our long press. I'm going to give it a minimum duration of 1 second, and on ended, we're going to say we don't care about this because we know it's ended. You can simply say self dot can drag is equal to true after the gesture has ended. Now we're going to create similarly another one for drag gesture. Okay, and we're going to say on change first, get the value. So we're going to take that value and apply it to translation to capture the current translation. And we're going to also set can drag to keep the can drag to true. And on ended, we're going to simply take the last position and append it to the offset to retain the position. Like so. Okay. We're also going to say translation is going to be set to 0, and can drag is going to be set to false once the view is dropped. Okay. Now let's create our sequence gesture. So long press and drag, and we just say long press dot sequenced and drag. Okay, so that's going to be our sequence gesture. And next we're going to create our image. Once again, DC logo. Going to make it resizable. Going to make going to make a background basically, and this background is going to be dependent upon this condition. Can drag. Then we're going to show a circle with stroke, color dot gray, otherwise nil. So no background otherwise, depending upon which state it is in. Let's give it a frame. Width and height 200. Give it an offset. So offset is going to be X and Y value. Once again, we're going to take our offset that we've been tracking, dot width plus translation that we've been tracking dot width, and y value is going to be offset dot width plus translation dot width dot height. Sorry, these are height values. Like so. Okay. So these are our offsets. So we're also going to show the shadow, and that's also going to be on the condition. So can drag, then show a shadow of maybe 10 points or 10 like blur radius. Otherwise, show it as a one blur. Okay. And with that, we are ready to apply our gesture, and we are simply going to say long press and drag like so. Okay. So our example is ready. Let's go ahead and resume this. And build succeeded. Looks like our preview is ready. So hold the view and drag it and drop. Once again, hold 1 second, drag and drop. If you try to drag and drop before, like it's not going to work because the precondition is basically long press has to happen before you can apply the drag gesture. So this is how you can actually create your or sequence your gestures to basically have a dependency on certain precondition that takes before your actual like the real gesture that you want to actually try to achieve is going to happen. Okay, so that's the example that I want to cover in this video. In the next video, we are going to be talking about exclusive gesture, which actually works a little bit differently. So we'll talk about that in the next video. Thank you.